have a very small, quick video. Someone messaged me, well actually a couple of people messaged me and asked me how and where do I keep my cheese when I'm making it. Here you go. I have a new batch that I just made. It's now I think 4 days in here, or maybe, yeah, 4 days. I have it in my garage. It's nice and cold in here. Yeah, I just want to open the lights. I've got some herbs. I've got some plants here. But this is where I keep my cheese. It's nice and cold in here, and I don't keep the heating on. Okay, Mango, go inside. Go inside, Mango. I don't keep the heating in here because this is where I keep my produce. I'm just going to show you. I've got like cases of tomatoes. I've got cases of... Oh, wow. There's nothing in here right now. Oh, yeah, there's a few left. Persimmons. I've got... There you go. I've got cases. A case of... Not cases. I'm over-exaggerating over here. This is my salad. This is the endive. Look what he does. He gives me all this plastic when he knows I don't want plastic. That's why I buy it by the case so it comes out of the box. But I've got my endive chicory. Just want to show you. Beautiful salads. So I've got a case of that. Under there I have a case of peppers. So I don't put the heating in my garage. That's for sure. Over here I have a case of sweet potatoes. We have a case of bananas. So it's where I keep my food. So I do not want to keep the heat in here. So what I do is basically I make my paste, my cheese paste, and then I leave it out on the counter covered lightly. There's a video on how I do that. I cover it lightly and I let it ferment 1 day once that's done. And then it goes into the refrigerator to firm up for 1 day only so I can shape it. Otherwise, you have a hard time shaping it. The day after, so that's 2 days now, right? 1 day I leave on the counter to let it ferment. Then it goes into the fridge for another day so it gets nice and firm. I shape it, I wrap it, and then it goes on this wire rack. And what I do is I put some brown paper down and I starch them. And every day I come here, as you can see my cheese is already turning blue. Every day I come here and I flip over my cheese. And I do this for a week. This is my daughter's. I don't like to have it get contaminated with... I don't like to get it contaminated with the blue. So I do keep it on the side. When I do box this, it's going to be boxed separate. But why do I starch my cheese? I'll tell you why I starch my cheese. If my cheese has a little crack and I don't starch it, you know, bacteria could grow in it. If it's not blue, it could be a bad bacteria, and I don't want to do that. So what I do is I starch it. And even though I've got this is going to be a blue cheese, I still starch it, and the blue still grows. It doesn't affect the blue. It might not have a lot of blue on the outside, but it's got plenty of blue on the inside. This one here is just a cranberry. But I do this for 5 days. I keep it in the garage. Now, if you have a garage, that's a good place to put it. If you don't have a garage, then you need to put this straight into the refrigerator once it's wrapped and still do the flipping of the cheese every day. You do want to have a little bit of humidity when you're making your cheese, because otherwise your cheese is just going to dry up, and you want it cold. So if you don't have a garage, you need to put it in a fridge. Maybe make a wooden box for it or a paper box if you're going to go the cheaper way. I do that. I have special boxes that are paper that I put my cheese in once I do my garage for 5 days. And then it goes into that box covered and layered with paper. And again, once in a while you check it and you want to flip your cheese even though it's in a box. If you find your paper is getting too wet, then you want to... Oh, my cat just came in here. She's going to get locked in here. Oh, Mango. Like I said, if your paper is getting too wet, you do want to change that paper. And what it does is it pulls out the moisture on your cheese, and your cheese gets nice and firm. And whenever it reaches that firmness you like, then you can wrap them and you can put them away and store them. But my cheese never lasts long enough for me to store. They do get stored, but they don't last long because we just enjoy and eat our cheese. This one's already turning blue because I did put the penicillium in here. This one is just plain. You could brush some of the starches off, but I leave it there because what it does is it also pulls up moisture from the cheese, and it just protects the cheese. So it kind of gives it like a coating. If you ever buy cheese, when you used to eat regular cheese that was encased in a wax, well, that's what this does. Basically, it keeps the inside nice and fresh or moist, and the outside, it basically gives it a rind. Like you can see that my cheese has already a hard skin on the outside. And same thing with the cranberry cheese and walnut. The walnut is only a layer on the outside on both sides of the cheese. The inside is just cranberry, and it's so delicious, and she loves it. This one is also a cranberry because I like that taste of blue cheese and the sweetness. But if you don't want to put cranberry, you can just leave the cranberry out and not worry about just make it a plain cheese. That's really up to you how you're going to make your cheese. I've made blue cheese that has charcoal. I've made all kinds of different varieties, and it's just whatever tickles my fancy. But there you go. It's very easy. It's not hard to make, and it's just a matter of being clean. If your hands aren't washed, wear gloves. It's not the end of the world. Just make sure that it's nice and clean, and keep it covered so, you know, nothing falls on it. Sometimes you never know, a hair or something will fall on it. I got to get my cat out because she's going to be jumping everywhere, and I've got food in here. But that's how easy it is to do this. And I'm going to say thank you for, you know, being interested in how I make my cheese. And remember, guys, if you have any questions, just message me, and I'll try and make a video for you on how I do it. And maybe that can help you out. So don't forget, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Give it a like, a thumbs up. And guess what, guys? I'll see you in my next video.
For more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to Connie's RAWsome Kitchen, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends.